This vehicle is supposed to weigh right around 5,000 pounds, GVW 7,200 pounds. Also, towing capacity right now is at a max 5,000 pounds. Now, price point for this vehicle, and it's not on sale yet, but price point for this is targeted at $52,500. Now, whether or not this vehicle is going to make it into the segment, it's about the size of a half ton, and that's right at the heart of the market. But if this vehicle can do all the things that it's promising, and from this test drive that we just had, which we were very impressed by, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this in the marketplace.
Workhorse stock keeps making all-time highs and is at the time of this video up 3.5% despite the rest of the US market being in a sell-off. And in just the last 6 months, Workhorse stock has gone up 970%. The bull sentiment is really high with this one, and for good reason. Tesla has shown that it is possible for electric vehicle companies to succeed, and the space itself is a mega trend for obvious climate reasons. My name is Sam and I welcome you to Financial Dragon. In this video we're going to check out the recent activities in Workhorse and analyze why it is reaching all-time highs and why it might keep doing so. So if you find value out of this video, it would really help me out if you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more similar content. Let's get right into it. As I said earlier, Workhorse stock has gone up 970% in the last 6 months, and people might wonder whether this is the end of the huge bull run. Let's take a look at the article. A 970% rally in 6 months does not make a Workhorse Group stock overvalued, written by senior analyst Faisal Humayun, to see what he thinks. As he's writing this, he's reminded of the fiscal year 2016 article on Tesla that was published in the Time magazine, as it provides salient context for the Workhorse stock. The article focused on the reason why investors are being so patient with Elon Musk. The key reason was that the investors were looking for what's coming a few years down the line than the present earnings or cash burn. Tesla stock has paid for investor patience with stellar returns generated in the recent past. And guys, that's what patience really can do for you. If you find a case you truly believe in, being patient with it, as long as the fundamentals are the same, is really the key for making money. Workhorse Group is another name in the electric vehicle business that deserves a closer look and potential exposure. Even after a big rally of 970% in the last 6 months, the reason he thinks is that the growth journey has just started for the company, and Workhorse stock might correct after a massive rally, but however, the corrections would be an opportunity for fresh market exposure. Investors would still be wary of a stock that has skyrocketed in the recent past, so let's look at some valuation insight. Workhorse stock currently has a market capitalization of $2.5 billion. Back in June 2020, Formidable Asset Management LLC opined that Workhorse stock is undervalued. The hedge fund noted that the company's 10% stake in Lordstown Motors could be potentially valued at $1.0 billion, even if the market views Lordstown as only half as valuable as Nikola. Therefore, if the stake is as valuable as Nikola, the 10% investment would be valued at $2 billion. Clearly, a current market capitalization of $2.5 billion is not expensive. As the company's business grows, the stock has significant upside. Business at inflection point. He believes that the Workhorse Group is at an inflection point and top-line growth will accelerate in the coming years. Skeptics will immediately point to the fact that the company signed an agreement with United Parcel Service in April 2012. This was an initial agreement to electrify UPS delivery trucks. However, 8 years down the line, only 6 orders have been placed, totaling 1,345 vehicles. The scalability of the business can therefore be questioned. The key reason is that there has been a gradual progress in development of charging infrastructure and lowering of charging costs over the years. Finally, the industry is at a point where delivery truck orders are poised to accelerate. A recent article in the New York Times perfectly sums up the view. Now that the battery technology is catching up to ambitions, many companies are making big commitments to electrify the last delivery mile. The rush to electrify, prompted by concerns about climate change, a chance to offset growing delivery costs, government regulation, and big advances in battery technology, is occurring as the pandemic has caused a huge spike in package delivery. Workhorse stock surging in the recent past is because of these potential changes. The company is expecting a $6.3 billion contract from US Postal Service for 165,000 vehicles. Any positive development on this possible contract can send the stock skyrocketing. Workhorse Group also claims of validation from blue chip customers and partners. Some of the names include the United Parcel Service, FedEx Corporation, Ryder System, and DHL. These partnerships can translate into contracts in the coming years as EV trucks adoption gains attraction. From a manufacturing perspective, the company already has the ability to produce more than 60,000 vehicles on an annual basis. The company is therefore positioned to execute bigger orders. Coming back to the company's 10% stake in Lordstown Motors, the management has mentioned in the second quarter of 2020 conference call that LMC has already received 27,000 pre-orders for a potential revenue of $1.4 billion. Further, LMC has the capacity to produce 600,000 electric vehicles annually. Therefore, once production commences in FY 2021, the stake can itself be a game changer for the company. In addition, the company's C-Series trucks can help an increasing order in the backlog as companies increasingly adopt electric vehicles for last mile delivery. The company believes that there's a total addressable market of $18 billion for delivery vehicles in the US, with a license to sell vehicles in all 50 states. Workhorse Group is well positioned for growth. Overall, Workhorse stock is attractive and the best part of growth is still to come for the company. With the positive catalyst discussed, the stock can be considered for exposure on any potential correction from current levels. So he's making a lot of good points here, and the addressable market rally is gigantic and Workhorse is very well prepared, so I'm definitely bullish on this. Let's now look at a slightly more conservative view, but bullish nonetheless. The equity staff wrote on September 15 that it has been a wild ride for Workhorse investors this week, as shares spiked over 30% from Monday's opening price of $18.06. The stock is now up over 700% since its June 3rd price of $2.95 and is up over 4,500% since the beginning of 2019. But as investors look more into the financials of Workhorse, it is becoming clear that just like most of the other companies in the electric vehicle sector, Workhorse is being boosted by speculation and not by actualized profitability. Not to say everything is bad for Workhorse, as the Ohio-based company has created some strong business partnerships during the past few months. Notably, its stake in Lordstown Motors should be a nice influx of income as the company prepares to go public later this year. Further boosting Workhorse's Wall Street credibility is a partnership with Hitachi that gives Workhorse access to their vast supply chain and national reach. Finally, investors are still clinging to the possibility of Workhorse winning a chunk of the USPS vehicle fleet contract that is due to be awarded at some point in the near future. The future does seem bright for Workhorse, and much of that is definitely already baked into the current stock price. The main catalyst for this week's surge was the partnership between General Motors and Nikola, although shares of Workhorse have continued to rise as Nikola's have fallen all the way back down. This could mean investors believe in Workhorse as a stronger bet in the short term, at least until Nikola gets its trucks on the road sometime after 2022. Well, who knows how Nikola is going to pan out with all these allegations, which I believed I talked about in my last video. In my opinion, this is a very exciting stock, and who really knows where Workhorse might end up in a couple of years. And I'm following them closely on their mission to electrify the industry. And you can definitely expect more updates on them and other electric vehicle companies in the future. That is it for today's video, guys. Comment down below what you think of this stock. Is it undervalued? Is it overvalued? Or will it indeed triple or quadruple in price? Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.